External pilots of the 414th Separate Regiment of Strike Unmanned Aerial Systems, Birds of Magyars, destroyed 3 Akhmat armored vehicles. A video of their destruction was posted on the unit's official YouTube channel. The 414th Regiment managed to capture these armored vehicles during an attempt by Russians to launch an offensive against the positions of the Ukrainian Defense Forces in the Donetsk region. Moreover, one of the vehicles was equipped with a full crew. The first Akhmat armored vehicle was hit by an FPV drone with a cumulative charge. The hit was not very successful, so the vehicle continued to move, but was forced to land its troops in the first available trench. The vehicle abandoned by the enemy was finished off by an FPV drone, which caused serious damage to the vehicle from the inside to prevent the enemy from using it to retreat. The second Akhmat armored vehicle, which went with the paratroopers towards the Defense Forces positions, managed to drive further than the first destroyed vehicle, but was blown up by anti-tank remote-controlled candy that was scattered on the vehicle's path. The damaged armored vehicle was abandoned by the enemy, and the 13 soldiers and crew retreated to the nearest trenches, where they were later destroyed. The third Akhmat armored vehicle was also damaged by a blast, and the infantry began to rally in a different area than the enemy had planned. To ensure its reliable destruction, the vehicle was additionally hit by 2 FPV drones, one of which detonated inside, causing a fire and complete destruction. According to Magyar, the use of Akhmat armored vehicles is no longer exotic, and they are becoming more common at the front. This armored vehicle was introduced in 2022 and was developed at the Remdiesel plant on a 3-axle all-wheel drive chassis from the KAMAZ 5350 with a 6x6 wheel configuration. The interior space allows for 9 military troops, and the crew consists of 1 driver. Its armored body module is mounted directly on the chassis frame. The roof has a hatch with a turret for a machine gun or other weapons. Earlier, Militarny reported that the 414th Separate Regiment of Strike Unmanned Aerial Systems had destroyed a Russian R-934 BMV electronic warfare station from the Borisoglebsk 2 complex in the Pokrovsk sector. Russian forces have destroyed Ukraine's defenses in parts of the Donetsk Oblast, it has been reported, as a map shows the state of play along the front line. Russia has been increasing its gains towards the Donetsk logistics hub of Pokrovsk, which is central to its goal of taking the whole region. These advances have led to the dismissal of the commander of Ukraine's Donetsk Joint Task Force, Oleksandr Lutsenko, Reuters reported. Ukraine's Kortitsia Operational Strategic Group of Forces, fighting in that part of the wider Donbas region, added to the downbeat assessment of Kyiv's fortunes in Donetsk, by saying that Russian assaults on fortifications in some places had made it impossible to hold them further. The group fighting for Kyiv said on Telegram that Russian forces had retreated after unsuccessfully trying to improve their tactical positions around the villages of Blahodatne and Yelizavetivka. Russia carried out assault operations south of Storozheve, Suki Yali, Kostiantinople, and Vasily High, and, as a result of fire damage, fortifications in some positions were destroyed, which made it impossible to hold them further, the statement said, according to a translation. As a result of exhausting clashes, the enemy improved the tactical position in the area of Pushkino, Pishchain, as well as to the west and east of the settlement of Shevchenko, said the Post, next to a map that showed the hotspots of the entire front line. Currently, units of our troops are taking measures to restore the tactical positions, the Post added. As fierce fighting continues in the Ukrainian region where Russian troops are making marginal gains, a map by the Washington, D.C.-based think tank Institute for the Study of War ISW showed the developments on this part of the front line. These included Russian seizures of Novotroitsky and Zarya on Thursday, as well as Moscow's advances that day in southwestern Kurakov, Shevchenko, and 4 villages further south that Ukrainian forces no longer have control of. Meanwhile, analysts from the Ukrainian Telegram open-source intelligence channel Deep State updated its map to show that Russia is occupying another 5 villages in Donetsk, located around Uspanivka. Mykola Koval, head of the press service for the 14th Chervona Kalina Brigade of Ukraine's National Guard, struck a more optimistic tone, telling Ukrainian television on Thursday that Russian forces had suffered heavy losses in their bid to break through from the left or the right flank. "We are holding the enemy back as much as possible because Pokrovsk is a strategically important city," he said, according to Ukrainska Pravda. As part of the surge in security assistance that President Biden announced on September 26th, the United States is providing another significant package of urgently needed weapons and equipment to our Ukrainian partners as they defend against Russia's ongoing attacks, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Thursday. Blinken was referring to the $2.4 billion security assistance package, authorized in September to ensure Ukraine has the tools it needs to prevail in its fight against Russian aggression. The latest shipment, valued at $500 million according to the State Department, includes additional ammunition for Ukraine's HIMARS.